If you're a player who's struggling to maintain a good win rate in Master Rank, or you can't increase your Master Rank points, then it's probably your footsies and your neutral that's holding you back. And what I mean by that is your over-reliance on footsies and neutral is what's causing you to have inconsistent win rates. While neutral and footsies are an important part of Street Fighter 6, I think a lot of people put too much emphasis on that part of their game and not enough emphasis on their knockdown, oki, and applying general mix-ups to their opponent at any given situation. Hey everybody, my name is Chris F, and in today's video we're going to be looking at what I believe to be the most efficient way to increase your rank quickly in Street Fighter 6, and that's focusing on your oki and your set play and general mix-ups when you knock down your opponent or put them into a mix-up off of Drive Rush. So for those of you who've been watching my live streams lately, you'll know that I've been doing a lot of coaching of players of different levels over the past couple of weeks. And one common theme that I've found amongst players of all different levels is that a lot of people kind of don't have their set play completely figured out in every single situation. And that means after any knockdown after a combo, knockdowns after throws, mid-screen, and in the corner. And I think this is one thing that's really holding people back when they play this game and definitely affecting their win rate. As we all know, Street Fighter 6 is a very snowball-y kind of game, and people do say that it's kind of momentum-based, and that's because of how strong set play is in Street Fighter 6. Now, being able to loop your offense and put your opponent into guessing situations when you knock them down is a common theme of any fighting game at high level. However, in Street Fighter 6, it's really easy for you to do this in any kind of given situation off of most of your knockdowns, so it feels more emphasized in this game than others, in my opinion. Now, you don't just have to take my word for this. I've been doing a lot of research on this topic, and the other day I found a great video posted about 2 or 3 months ago by Mago, the 2D god, which I'm sure most of you watching know, and I'm going to load that up right here, right now. All right, and in this video, he's taking questions from viewers, especially viewers who are stuck in Master Rank with really unstable win rates. So this player here is a modern Aki player who bounces around from 1400 to 1600, and his viewers are asking him for advice about what to do. And Mago basically goes on to say what I've been saying. So he says, one of the most important things you can do to raise your level is to work on your fundamentals. And he says, well, what are fundamentals in Street Fighter 6? One of the fundamentals is trying to find places where you can get damage. And what's the easiest place to get damage? Well, putting your opponent into a mix-up between strike, throw, and shimmy. So let's say I'm playing Ryu and I'm fighting Ken here. What's the simplest way I can force my opponent to guess? I can hit them with the normal, they block it, I drive rush, and then I put them into a mix-up. After this string, I'm going to be +3, my opponent's -3, and now they're in a complete guessing situation. This is the strike, throw, shimmy mix-up situation, and it's a core element to your block pressure in Street Fighter 6. So the first thing I want you to do is really learn all of your pressure situations and really figure out how you can counter all of your opponent's defensive options off of this basic exchange. Now, if you've watched my other videos, I'm sure you know what to do, but in case you don't, I'm going to go over it really quickly right now. So in this situation, if you think your opponent's just going to block, you go for an immediate throw and you'll beat them. Then, if you think your opponent is going to push a button, like an attack, well, you can throw that too, because you're going to be at frame advantage and you can beat them for that. So right here, I put my opponent into a block string, I go for a throw, the counter hit message showed up, that shows me that my opponent was pushing a button, but I'm at frame advantage, so the throw wins. Alternately, if you think they're going to push a button, you can always just go for a frame trap, something like that, and then you're going to want to make sure that you have your best normal lined up to convert off of that. For Ryu, after this, he's going to be +9, so if I can go crouch medium kick here off of this, and I'll get more damage than just going to something like a jab. That's 1,740 damage. Meanwhile, this would be 2,120. So I get more damage because I'm actually taking advantage of that situation. So make sure you have your set play down, and then also make sure you have your max combo routing down too, to beat what you anticipate is going to come from your opponent. That's a really key aspect. Then if you think your opponent's going to go for a delayed throw tech, of course, all you have to do is shimmy them. And you can either go for something like a good Denjin charge with Ryu if you have something like that, or you can just go for max damage. And then Mago goes on to kind of explain this concept a little bit further, and he says he tries not to focus too much on the neutral game. Yes, it's important, but in Mago's opinion, the neutral game is really unstable, and there's a bit of luck involved in terms of like your button press timing, your opponent's button press timing. Also in Street Fighter 6, there are too many things to look for. We hear so many times how people are talking about how much mental stack there is in this game between like anti-airs, drive impact, drive rush, whiff punishing. There's a lot to look for, and I think that's why Mago says he doesn't focus on this. What he focuses on instead is how to put his opponent into mix-up situations both on block, knockdown after combos, and knockdown after you throw. And the next thing that Mago starts talking about, which I thought was a really good point from him, is that when you put somebody into something like a throw loop in the corner, It doesn't matter if your opponent is a platinum player, a master player, or a legend player. Once you put them into that throw loop mix, because it's so strong, you take their player skill out of the game, because this mix-up is so simple, so easy to do, and it's just a guessing game. So you're able to take your opponent's skill out of the equation by putting them into strong mix-up situations. And that's why learning your mix-ups on block and knockdown is one of the easiest ways to quickly increase your win rate. Then later on in Mago's video, he has this little infographic that he made here on MS Paint, which is really hard to read. Like, I can read Japanese and this is like chicken scratch. So I made my own version of this, kind of in the same spirit of Mago's messy writing. Hopefully my writing is a little bit less messy than this, but let's check it out and I'm going to explain to you what he's trying to show and what I'm trying to talk about with this infographic. So here's my translated kind of messy chicken scratch version of Mago's thing. And let me just run you through this. And this is basically how Street Fighter 6 works and how you can build your offense with any character for the most part. There's always going to be some small exceptions here and there, but for the most part, this is what you should be focusing your game on, and this is what you should be focusing on to increase your win rate and start winning more. So on the left here, we have neutral and footsies, and you don't want to be here. You want to spend as little time as possible in neutral and footsies as you can. And the whole point of playing neutral and footsies is to not take damage from your opponent, obviously, not to get hit. But the main point of this is you want to move into either a combo, a throw, or to be able to take plus frames on your opponent. Let's use Ryu as an example for this. So let's say I hit my opponent. Ryu's best damage is going to come from this Shoryuken ender. But unless you can kill your opponent, this is a weak way to end your combo because you don't really get good Oki off of it. That's why in this situation, instead of ending with a Shoryuken, it's better to end with something like a light Tatsu, which does less combo damage but leaves you in a much better position afterwards. Then if you land a throw on your opponent, you want to make sure you can kind of use your drive rush to keep your pressure going. So here with Ryu, unfortunately, if I try to go for a drive rush and throw, I don't have enough speed or frame advantage on the throw to get that. But if I think my opponent's going to wake up with a button, I can get a nice trade on standing hard punch and then get a trade combo afterwards. And then loop my Oki to push them to the corner and then get advantage again. So be sure to experiment with your character, figure out what you can do in all of your knockdown situations, both mid-screen after combos and throws and blocks, and in the corner in the same situations to really maximize your offense. So now going back to this chart, so we saw if you get a throw, you land the knockdown, you can either do a drive rush, or if you're in the corner, you can do a dash to get some auto-timed kind of frame kills and extra pressure that way. And then after that, you can put your opponent back into a mix-up situation. And this is the same whether it's Oki or set play after a combo ends, a throw mid-screen or in the corner, or when you take plus frames either through a plus frame move or through like drive rush or drive rush cancels. Going to your mix. And this is the most important part, and this is where you usually want to be spending most of your time in Street Fighter 6 in an ideal situation. Then, as you get experience and as you get a feel for your opponent, on a read, if you think they're going to attack with a reversal to blow up your frame trap or throw, then all you have to do is block. And then if you do block the reversal, the reward you get for blocking it is way more than the reward they get for landing it on you. So if you're able to make a read there, use that, do your best damage combo, hopefully win the round, and then take it from there. So again, just to summarize, if you're a player who finds yourself doing stuff like this when it can't kill your opponent, losing all your Oki, losing your screen position, and losing your set play and pressure, make sure you spend more time focusing on how to actually keep the pressure on your opponent after all of your knockdowns, both mid-screen and in the corner. And I'm sure if you're able to do that, your win rate and your overall rank is going to increase in no time. Now, of course, defense and having a general idea of footsies and spacing and character matchup knowledge is really important, but I guarantee if you really lab your knockdown situations or your plus on block situations and how to force your opponent into guessing situations, then your win rate is going to improve. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps support me as a content creator. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, take care.